My name is JC with the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement, and I wanted to take this opportunity just to tell you a little bit about our story as a nonprofit and how we came together. The original founding members for the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement, we came together for many different reasons. We had five of us. We had Dr. Ernie Binko and Dr. Gary Stratton. We had my sister Melinda Ellswick, and we had James Hibbets. Unfortunately, over this time, from the time we started to the time of right now, 2022, we lost a couple of those members. We lost James Hibbets, which was a great friend and a great visionary for part of what he wanted to see in this region. We lost him a couple of years ago to a heart attack, really right before the pandemic began. James has a very unique story in and of himself, and that's something we wanted to kind of honor him going forward, and we'll get to that at some point. My sister Melinda Ellswick, passionate school teacher, loved helping kids, loved the arts, cancer survivor. Unfortunately, I lost my sister and one of our founders to COVID. We buried her just before Christmas last year. But over time, we've added a couple of new members to our board, trying to round out and kind of give different perspectives from different parts of Central Appalachia. And as our founding members came together, and the new members of our board in the past couple of years, we came together for a lot of different reasons, but the most important was to help create opportunities where they're needed most. Because we have a tremendous amount of pride in our Appalachian region, our history, our heritage, the hardworking people, just good people of this region. And growing up in Central Appalachia just really gives you a unique perspective of life in the world. And here we are in these mountains, nestled in these beautiful mountains with countless small towns everywhere. So we have the best of small town America right here in these beautiful, pristine mountains. And this, just the breathtaking environment. And we know our friends and we know our neighbors. We know these places kind of like the back of our hands all around the region. And things like when disaster strikes, we don't complain and hold out our hands. As you know, from all over the region, people roll up their sleeves. They go to work. They help each other. They help their communities. And that is kind of one of the driving forces that wanted us to have this foundation, to be a force, to be that helping hand as well. So here we are, calling these majestic mountains our home, generation after generation, since our nation's founding, really. And families have stayed here, they've raised their children here, and enjoyed everything that Appalachian life has to offer. But those from the region know that we also have so many challenges. And families are constantly finding themselves fighting against a lack of economic diversification. This is kind of region-wide. Simply stated, that means just a lack of job opportunities. And for generations, this region has prospered mostly on the backs of coal miners, coal mining in this, the central region especially. But the past decades, we've seen countless mining operations close. The economies dry up from small town to small town, and families losing their main source of income with not a lot of job training to go into other fields. And I pulled some statistics. This was from a few years ago from the Appalachian Regional Commission, and the numbers haven't changed drastically. Per capita personal income in Appalachia is about 20% below the national average. Per capita investment income in Appalachia is about 30% below the national average. And most counties in Appalachia have lost population in the previous 2 decades. College graduation rates are much lower than the national average. It's estimated that actually 12% of adults in Central Appalachia have college degrees. In addition to economic factors, Appalachia also struggles against cultural stereotypes. And this has been glaringly obvious for decades in movies and television, where we're kind of portrayed as uneducated and socially backwards compared to cultural norms in other parts of the country. However, traveling across this Appalachian region paints a much different story than what most people would assume. Therefore, having recognized the problems for years, we organized the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement to put forth the effort to help solve these problems, address that stereotype, and we called our podcast Appalachian Shine after what we wanted to do with the foundation. Shine a light on the best and brightest of what we have to offer. We take pride in our heritage and we want to promote it. We take pride in the work ethic of people all across this region, and we want to see greater job opportunities for them. And we also invite those not from the Appalachian region to come and visit, enjoy our scenic beauty, and get to know the people of Appalachia, explore everything Appalachia has to offer, and take a tour along the most beautiful stretch of mountains and valleys that you'll ever see. So why support the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement? The answer is actually simple: to make Appalachia a better place with a bright future. And we want anyone in our region, inside and outside, to actually join us in this journey. Help us shine a light on the best and brightest and most amazing things we have to offer here. So that is why we do what we do with the foundation. That's why we formed, because there's so many great things that we should be proud of and we should promote. And we also have this two-tiered approach that you'll find on our website as we address it slightly. We have a two-tiered approach, and one is we actually, with the things that we want to do, programs that we want to develop, and we want people to come to us to help develop, is programs that address a two-tiered approach. One, we want to address the economics, educational disparity, and tourism. We find that incredibly important to wrap those three together and sell this region, because Appalachia is not just a place, it's a history, it's an experience, and we want people to understand that. The second thing we want to do, part of tier two, is to promote our arts, our all the artists that we have in this region, whether you're a painter, a sculptor, a writer, a filmmaker, anything at all, musicians. We feel that the artists that are in this region define who we are as a people and a culture. And it's important that we promote that and promote them and help spread this work. Any little thing that we can do, whether it's maybe having a little small art festival in a town that maybe normally doesn't have something like that, where we can invite people out free. We can find some local businesses to help sponsor and fund the cost. That's a great thing that we want to do. We feel that promoting the arts and our rich heritage and culture and history is just as vital as the economic and educational piece of tier one for not just for tourism, but to bring a full experience to people. We would like to see Appalachia actually be a major tourism destination for people in this country. I know people flock to the beaches in the summer, but we'd love for people to flock to our trails and our lakes and our mountains and our small towns that have such amazing, long, rich histories that are intertwined with the very founding and roots of our country as we became a nation and expanded west. So why do we do what we do? Pride and passion in the people, the places, and the history, and all things that encompass Appalachia. So thank you for stopping by to hear our story and learn a little bit about the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement. If you share in our vision, let us know. If you share in that thought process and goals and hopes that we have for our region, listen to our podcast. We implore you to make a donation. We want to be able to help all organizations around here that even have part of our mission. We want to be able to help support all of those organizations and develop programs to really make a difference throughout Appalachia. So thanks again for stopping by. Don't forget to follow us on our podcast and stop by periodically as we update our website with new information, new interesting little things about the history of the region, and let's have some fun. Let's show some pride. Thanks again. I'm JC with the Foundation for Appalachian Advancement.